Very good, very good. Very good. Okay, good. All right, so here's what you need to know. This is the part of the show where I go and answer questions for free. Now, normally I do these at 2 a.m. at night, not by choice, but because I'm working at the law firm and I really would love to afford a brief writer, but it's just these claims don't really pay that much, so it is what it is. But the bottom line is, yeah, I hate having to write briefs. I hate it, and they take me a while, and it's one of those gigs where I just have to spend a lot of time doing them. But anyways, we're doing it today, Saturday, middle of the day. Well, not really. It's 4:56 p.m. where I'm at. Let's get into it real quick. Here's the way it works. I just want to make sure everybody's, aware of how this all works. Number one, you go ahead and basically call the phone number. Phone number is simple. It's 407-279-1754. Again, 407-279-1754. Once you do that, it will allow you to call this phone. I will then answer the phone and answer your questions. Sometimes I'm on the phone when you're already calling. There's only one of me. So if you're calling, I'm already on the phone. I can't pick up the phone. Don't go into story mode. Use a fake name when you call in. I can't answer anything perfectly because I don't know your whole situation. If it requires state law, I'm usually pretty good about Florida, but if it requires some weird state situation law, I'm not going to know it. I know the federal law, right? Federal disability, Social Security attorney. Okay, that's what I do. With that said, over here, if you have Medicare questions, don't call me. 339-226-6287. I'm learning more and more about it. I kind of got to the point with disability law where I've kind of reached the very end, the end of the tentacles of where the law leads. So I'm just reaching into more personal injury, Medicare, and maritime law stuff at this point. I spent a lot of time learning VA law too. But bottom line is this. We're going to go ahead and take phone calls. Now, when we go and do this, you get about 7-ish minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. Please, no story mode. Please. Some of you guys, you go into story mode and just becomes a whole thing. Please, no story mode, okay? And when you call in, do not use your real name. If you use a name that sounds real, like, Annabeth McDonald, right? I'm going to be like, I don't know, that sounds, but if you come in and you're like, I'm Barbara Streisand, then I know you're most likely, some sort of like Shaquille O'Neal type of person, okay? That's just the way it is, right? Everybody loves a big, guy out there, pushes people around, gets the dunks, all that jazz. All right, so now I've got the pool rules out there. Oh, wait, one final pool rule. Here's the thing with the final pool rule, okay? If you want a perfect explanation, I can't usually give those to you with a perfect answer over the phone doing this because I don't have your file. I don't have your case details, right? I don't have all your medical records. If you want to do a private session or a 60-minute, 1-hour session, and I usually do an hour, 10 hour, and 15 minutes with those, there's a mini contract below to be able to get access to those private sessions where you fill it out, you send the money in, and then basically we put you in between my hearing calendar. All right. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and trigger the phone now, get us rolling, and get it on and set it. So again, hold on. Now that we're open for it, 407-279-1754. You can go ahead and call in. I know we're doing this at a weird time, but go ahead and call in and we will begin. Oh, let me put this up here a little bit more. And then we will begin the process. Go ahead and yeah. Now remember, if nobody calls within 10 minutes, I'll get to go take a break and do other stuff. So that's probably what I'm going to do if nobody calls. So let me see if this thing has any callers. I know it's a weird time. We did miss somebody right when I started it, but I want to see if anybody else calls in because I don't know if they were just trying to call the law firm or trying to call me. All right, let's see. Oh, and also, yes, Kosher made a really good point there. When you call in, you have to mute the TV or computer that you're watching the video on so that we just talk through this phone. That's super ultra crucial. Again, you've got to mute your TV or any of that stuff. So when you call in, basically, we're just talking through the phone. Otherwise, it's going to cause some issues with the audio. All right, let's see if we can get anybody to call in. This is weird. Normally, we got people calling in a lot. Well, you know what the other thing is, too? It takes people a bit of time to log in and then basically catch on to what's going on. But again, one last time, and then I'm going to start the countdown. I'm going to go do some fun stuff. Let's see what we got here. It is 407-279. Geez, Louis, I put it in wrong. 279-1754. There you go. If you call that, then I can go ahead and take questions. I will begin the countdown to anybody to want to call in. And if I reach 0, that means I get to go have fun. That means I get to go hang out and have fun. All right, so here we go. It is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me see what this says. Hey, did you reach out to Baron? I'm not sure. Can you tell me a little bit more about Baron? I'm not sure who Baron is. Help me out with Baron. Keep in mind, a lot of people throw names at me. I have to look them up inside the vault system and see who they are. When is the Rock Show? Chain Fate. I can't swivel the computer because the thing's stuck to it, the camera. But I will say this. I started to do the stuff to actually do the show where I was going to play the guitar. I bought a YOLO Extreme device, which is like one of those things that allows you to click different buttons to go to different cameras. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6K cameras around me. None of them work with the camera I normally use. So like I always get something going and then it gets effed up. It gets screwed up. All right, we did have one caller call in. Oh, looks like we had 2 callers call in. All right, let me click this again, see if I can go ahead and put the speaker on real quick. Let me see if I can get this person, then we'll get rolling. All right, let's see what we got here. Hold on, let me put it all the way up. That way we're good to go. Let me put the volume all the way. All right, let's see if we get through this person.
Hello.
Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
I've been on disability for over 10 years, SSI.
Okay.
I only have 17 quarters.
Okay.
I went into treatment last summer.
Okay.
And now I'm in a sober living house. And one of the requirements is to have to work 20 hours a week. And if not, volunteer 20 hours a week. So I tried working, but I got sick. I wasn't able to keep up with the work. I turned in my pay stubs to the Social Security office in the field office near where I live now.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering if they're going to try to investigate me. I didn't actually get terminated, but they took me off the schedule because I had to leave. I had a lot of health problems.
Well, let me ask you this. How long were you working with that job?
I started in November, so it was only 2.5 months.
Did you use any of your 9-month trial work period previous to that?
No.
Okay. So, I mean, you, in all reality, are likely within your 9-month trial work period. So, you know, just to kind of clarify, you get 9 months to earn as much as you want, and then you get 3 extra months thereafter. The only difference between the 9 months and the 3 months thereafter is the 9 months, each month you earn over a trigger amount, it counts. With the 3 months, once you start the first of the 3 months, the second and third one automatically occur right after each other. Whereas the 9 months, you could spread them out, have a month here, have a month there, stuff like that. But no, you're fine. I mean, you got a whole 9-month trial work period to, you know, fuddle and try out and see what you can do. That the program's built to basically give you 12 months of, you know, play with stuff, have fun, try and find work, earn as much as you can. And then they expect you to go into something like a ticket to work program.
Okay.
Yep.
But
Perfect.
they're already deducting the half of like $1 out of every $2 over 85 that I made each month.
Oh, wait, so you're
Right.
SSI, right? So then you got the additional issue of reduction of benefits because of SSI. So what I would say is this real quick. Okay, so you had 2.5 months. What did you earn each month?
About $600, $700, or $800.
Okay.
I was only working like every other day.
Okay, so SSI, you know, doesn't have that 9-month trial work period. So normally in that instance, they would do, you know, basically they would do a reduction in essentially whatchamacallit. They would do a reduction in the amount that you receive each month. So you're saying you never reported the earnings. Now, are you sure that these earnings went to the IRS? You're sure that this is legal, paid through payroll, all that stuff?
I got the payroll stubs and gave them to the field office, the Social Security field office right away.
So then you're wondering, when are they going to come back at you with a reduction in your benefits?
It's already been reduced.
Okay, and how much did they reduce it by?
Only like about $300.
Okay, so you know,
went from 900 to 600.
Yeah, I mean that's probably makes sense because, you know, you got the 20 you know, rule is 65 rule, and then you got, you know, $2 earned, they take away $1. So I mean that's probably correct for, you know, what you earn. And I remember, I don't have your exact numbers in front of me, but now let me ask you this: the type of job you had, Was it just a standard payroll paid per hour, or was it one of those things where they give you a little bit to go to work? They give you some costs, stuff like that. Like, how is it set up?
No, it was $10 an hour part time.
Okay.
So doing sales and warehouse work, which I couldn't do.
Okay. So it's just a standardized job. They paid you per hour. You got paid bi-monthly, every 2 weeks, whatever, something like that.
Every week.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, in that instance, it's a situation where they're going to nip the amount in, but remember, if you had continuous and repetitive work for SSI, let's say more than 3 months, well, they usually look at 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. That's why when we say failed work attempts, 3.5 months or less, when you have over 3.5 months, they start looking at it as a potential review process. But what you want to go learn about are called failed work attempts, FWPs. That'll teach you about specifically the things that they're looking for with what your capacity is, as to doing a job going forward. Because remember, if you can repetitively do a job and earn a little bit more, you get closer and closer to SGA. And you get closer to SGA, then they don't have to pay anymore. And they're looking at that as an option,
Okay, because I was worried about losing my benefits if I was working part time. And even if I tried to go back to work, I don't think it's a good idea. What do you think?
Well, I mean, just keep in mind they're looking for either was it a failed work attempt or was it a successful work attempt? And you weren't even earning when you were there over the $1,690 per month. So you were earning consistently for the 2.5 months under SGA. So you're just not the type of fish that they're looking for to review and remove benefits. Now, let's switch it. Let's say for 8 months you worked and each month you earned over $1,690. Yeah, that's going to likely put you in the running for a triggered CDR review.
Okay, and I'm about to turn 61 also, so hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, but they still do CDRs of 61. The cutoff used to be like 58, then it went to 60, then it went to 61, then it went to 63. Now it's at 65. That's when they really stop looking.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, their whole thing
so
is. Yeah, absolutely. You have a wonderful day. I'm going to take the next car and we'll rock and roll from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Perfect. We're going to go ahead and take the next caller. I missed a couple of calls from him. Let me just call him back because I feel like he called a bunch of times. Hold on. Let me put the speaker on real quick. Let me see if I can get this Jen on the phone. We can rock and roll. Here we go. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
That's a really good question. Go ahead. Yeah, my name is Rob, and I was wondering if being on PAD artery disease would affect my Social Security.
Well, how so? Like, what particular part of your Social Security do you feel like it would affect?
Well, in one of your videos, you said like a lot of us are going to get kicked off, and I was just wondering if I would be one of them on the artery disease.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's about severity. Like, is your impairment still as severe as it used to be?
Yeah, it's actually getting worse again. I'm going to have to go back in
Okay.
and have another surgery. I got to get restented because I can't walk very far without my legs burning, and my backside of my back starts to burn now. It's a new thing. I had a stroke that affected my left arm, but my left arm's good now. And I just went and had a stroke in my right eye, so I can barely see out my right eye now.
Right.
And I'm just worried about what you said, like a lot of us are going to be, denied. Well, I have 5 to 7 years. I have the 5 to 7 year thing of when people were supposed to recheck me or what have you. So I'm 55 when I was on it. I'm 57 now. And yeah, I just got worried because right now that's the only thing I have for income. So I'm in Kansas.
I mean, yeah. Look. So what they use is the 8-step sequential process. But just to quickly summarize, it's multiple. I'm just going to do a massive squish of it. The big thing that they're looking for is, are your impairments the same in severity or worse? If they are, then they're not really going to keep going forward, because that's the end of the analysis for the most part. Like, you are the person you were before. You were still as disabled as you were. They got to use the same rules as when you were found disabled initially. You're good, you're done. If you have improvement, then they look at any additional impairments that you have. And if you have additional impairments, right, they look, okay, well, are these impairments enough to say that with his old impairments that he's severe enough? And if you're not, then basically they start to look at removal benefits. But what you want to study is called the 8-step sequential process. That's going to give you a good understanding of the specifics of how this program works for somebody with your impairments.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, did you say that the new 8 steps were going to change, though?
The 8-step sequential process could change. I don't think it will. The thing that's changing is overall the culture of people who are approved for Social Security benefits. And what a lot of people don't understand is that while they have to use the original rules that they found you disabled with, right, while they've got to go by that, the kicker is that the aggressiveness and the culture of whether or not, you are in a situation where, let's say that, like, you're in the tippy zone, could go one way, could go the other way, could go either way. The tippy zone of how aggressive they want to be at saying, well, there's slight improvement, and then they get a doctor that says, he's not that bad. Then you're put in a spot, you're put in a place where it's just not going to go your way. It's not going to be a good thing.
Right.
That's the real problem here. That's what I don't think a lot of people understand, is that it's that culture and the medical doctors being quick to just, basically kick somebody to the curb. It's that culture that really gets you. Correct.
So I guess I have to worry, or I'm assuming. I mean, I haven't gotten any better. I mean, it actually is getting worse, but.
When you say it's getting worse, articulate it for me. Like, prove to me right now, with your knowledge base, how your impairments are getting worse.
Okay, so the surgery was around 3 years ago, and after surgery, I could walk further. I was doing pretty good, and they said that the surgery would only last 3 to 5 years before I'd have to have another one, because I would get worse. And it's actually true, because my legs are burning again, and now it's spreading up into my back, where my back is burning, not like in my spine, but my left and right side. It's a weird thing. Like, I don't even know if there's arteries there. I mean, so my veins are getting clogged up in my back. I'm really not sure.
Okay.
So I'm going in for an angiogram and all that in a couple of weeks, and I'll know more. But
all right. So first thing that comes to mind is somebody who does this stuff all the time. The stuff that you were saying to me does not sound like, in my opinion, medical, details, right? What I'm looking for are medical details. Why would the doctor agree that you're more severe? You're giving me some symptoms, but what on their tests explains what's going on as to why you are that severe?
Okay. So, yeah, he's scheduled an angiogram, I guess, to find that out, I would suppose.
Okay. So,
no, neither.
Okay, so, and I guess the point I'm getting at here is, how long ago should you have had this test? What are you expecting to hear from the test going forward? And what's your plan going forward to use the doctors to build the evidence that would give you the best potential outcome?
I'm pretty sure the angiogram is going to come back and say that my arteries are clogged in my back. I don't know if there's arteries in the back per se, but there's veins, of course. There's blood's got to go somewhere. And if they're clogged, I'm assuming, I don't know if they can stent that.
All right. So what
I don't really know.
Right. What I'm getting at is, I get it. So that's one of the tests. Now tell me about other things that prove that you are more severe. Talk to me about medical devices. Talk to me about medication side effects. Talk to me about signs that are occurring on your body that they can actually measure. Talk to me about that stuff.
Okay. 6 months ago, I had a stroke. And now they said, and then they believe I just had a stroke in my right eye. What was that? A month ago? Yeah. and I don't know if because of my left. They said the left artery of my neck was fully clogged, but my body made new veins or arteries around it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I just had a stroke in my right eye.
Okay.
And we scanned for that too as well. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like my arteries are just clogging up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, all right. So kind of the bottom line here is, just to be clear, what I want you to focus on, what I want you to work on is specifically what additional evidence can you create that would essentially give you the best potential chance of showing an adjudicator why you are that severe.
Okay, I don't really know how to do it. I mean, I would suppose the tests that they've been giving me, the MRIs and the CT scans, I'm getting tested all the time, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to do.
Okay. And so, all right, let's
see a doctor all the time. So.
All right. So here's one of the things that I always have an issue with my claimants is they're like, I just leave it up to the doctor creates whatever they're going to create. I just go with that is what it is. What if I put you on offense? And I said, how are you going to, by using the doctor, create the evidence that you want? Do you know what the evidence is that you want?
No, sir.
So that's step one.
Sure.
Yeah, go get the evidence in mind that you want. Go shape what you want the evidence to look like, because at the end of the day, if you don't know what the evidence is supposed to look like, you're not going to know what, and remember, the game is not go get treated, go get better. That's not the game. The game is, how do you, using your doctors, create the evidence that the adjudicators, the judges, can use to keep you found disabled?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And other than the test,
mm-hmm.
the CT scans and the angiograms that are showing that I'm clotted up,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wouldn't know how else to do it. That's
okay. So I got to get to another caller, but I want you to think about medical devices, specialty tests, physical signs that show you're having limitations, medications and the side effects that you experience, ambulatory devices, medical devices that they prescribe you. There's all kinds of ways to show that you're becoming more severe.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay, I got you, man. Yeah, I hear you.
Excellent. I will catch you a little bit later. We'll rock and roll from there. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, okay?
All right, thank you, Walter.
Thank you, good sir. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Perfect. I'm going to take the next caller. Let me go ahead and we missed a call from this person right here. Let me get this real quick. Speaker is on. Hold on. Here we go. Doop, doop, doop. Let's see what we got.
Hello.
Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Okay. I just started receiving in July of 2025 SSI.
Mm-hmm.
And I live in my father's home by myself, and they've been paying my bills because I was waiting for disability. Now I've received it, and because they are paying the bills and stuff, they've deducted. I'm only getting like less than $700.
Yeah, 1/3 reduction rule.
Month.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took out like half of it. Is there any other way besides having to pay my parents' rent? Like home repairs or anything like that I can do that I would be able to up that amount that they're giving me?
Yeah, you just pay your parents for rent. I mean, that's the way it's done. It's called the 1/3 reduction rule, in-kind support and maintenance rule. You are supposed to pay them, I forget the exact number, but just north of $350 per month to get the full amount of benefits. You pay it to them. If they want to gift to you amounts from what you pay them after you've paid them, you'll get your full, $960+. And then if they want to,
I can't tell them that I'm making the money though. I haven't told them yet.
You can't tell them.
There's other issues going on that I can't just, tell them without otherwise, well, I can't explain it. I don't want to say it over the air, but I just don't want to pay them rent, and I don't want them to know that I'm receiving money now. But I was wondering, like, if I did house repairs or anything like that, and just submitted that to the Social Security office, if that would work.
That would not work. It's got to be, they got rid of the food requirement. It's about, you know, which wouldn't even help you here, but it's only about paying rent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they reduced my food stamps that I was receiving also.
Yeah.
But I don't, yeah, they did. They said they weren't going to, but then they did. But yeah, that was my question. I was just wondering if there was anything else besides having to pay rent. And how would I submit it if I was to decide to do that?
Well, you would draw up the, you know, the rental agreement with your parents. You'd submit it to the SSA that you now have to pay this larger amount. And then the SSA effectively going forward would have to pay you the full amount of SSI for 2026. And then you would pay your parents the rental amount, which would probably, you know, help relations.
You would think.
Yeah, no, I know parents can be, yeah, but I mean,
no.
yeah.
And I want to say it on the on the air.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I'm in a situation where I was being taken care of, but not necessarily being taken care of. So
Right.
it's an issue that I can't, you know, I would have a really hard time if I did do that. So I'm just kind of living with what I've got right now. I still don't have to pay rent, and my bills are paid, you know, and everything. So that was one of the things that I just wanted to see about.
Yeah, I mean, that'll get you the $9.94 per month, but like if you want to keep it a secret for some reason, then, you know, you got to you know, yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was my question. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'm super happy that you called me back. Actually, I was walking to the mailbox, sort of.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
Totally appreciate all your information that you give every day. Thank you so much.
You as well. I'll catch you later. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so we're going to take, I think I see one more here. Let me see real quick. Hold on. Yeah, one more here. We're going to do this one. Boop. We're going to click this button, and speaker's on. Here we go. We'll get this gent on the phone. Should be good to go.
Hello?
Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hi. I'm on SSD, and I was wondering if, like, I assume that if I were to, like, sell, like, I have, like, old instruments on eBay or something, or on Facebook, that would be required as reportable income, correct?
I mean, you know, you have to remember there's capital gain situation. You know, did you gain? What did you buy it for originally? Blah, 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 all that stuff to kind of look into. Because remember, income is not, you know, if you put in a certain amount, you have to look at kind of like, and also, are you a corporation or no?
No, I'm just a person, just a lone person. It's not as like a business, just to free up space. You know, old stuff that I have, you know, like old clothes that could be donated, but could possibly be sold for a couple bucks. Not like running a resale shop or anything like that. Just offloading some of my personal goods.
Usually,
items.
So I've seen judges go both ways on this. Usually, okay, so the rule is when you're selling like, you know, personal stuff on Craigslist Marketplace, eBay, whatever, usually they don't count it. However, I have seen judges count it before. But I believe the rule is they're not supposed to. And then remember, then it's what of that amount is actually accountable income if they do count it. But they're not supposed to do it, but I've seen judges do it.
Okay. What about like, would that be the same for like coins, like at a coin shop?
So, see, the problem is when you start getting into the business. Okay, so like, how many instruments are we talking about here? We're talking about like 2 or 3, or are we talking about like 12?
Yeah, well, I would probably want to sell probably like 2 or 3. I have about 12 instruments, but I don't intend to sell more than 2 or 3 of them.
Okay. So here's kind of the, and here's the problem you're going to run into with this situation. Yeah. So, okay. So the one thing you've got to watch out for is if you are repetitively selling things online and it looks like you're doing, like you're making a business out of it, like you're spending hours and hours per day doing it. Then you start getting into in the business of selling things category, in which case then it's looked at as an income because like it's the job of selling, If this is just like I'm yard selling it, I'm eBaying a few items, just getting rid of them, then they don't usually count them. I've seen them count them, but they're not supposed to. So like you remember, because here's the thing with musicians, everybody's got more guitars than they need. You know what I mean? Like this is just the way it is. And at the end of the day, if, for example, you are selling, let's say you put 6 guitars up. Okay, you sell some, then you get some more, and then you sell some more. And now you've got a history of, let's say, 15 guitar sales in a year. We're starting to encroach on this. Are you in the business of buying, selling, trading musical instruments?
Okay.
Yeah.
What about birthday gifts like a check in the sum of a couple $100 with happy birthday on there? Is that a reportable income?
That's not income.
Once a year. Okay.
That's not income. Yeah. That's a gift. Yeah. That's different. Yada, yada. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I believe that's it for my questions today.
Perfect. Excellent. Good, sir. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Okay.
Thank you. You as well, Walter. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Okay, cool. So we're going to, because we usually do 30 minutes, we're going to call it there. I will be potentially live later tonight because something's developing and I'm watching it. And if I get a chance tonight, I will. We got one more call. I'll do one more call. Here we go. Speakers on. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead. So, yep, you just go ahead and mute it on your end with that thing, and then we just talk through the phone.
Yeah, Walter, this is JB. Excuse me, I'm calling from Mexico.
Sure.
And I originally filed for my SSDI about 8 years ago.
Okay.
And it took, and at the same time I applied for my retirement benefits at 62.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 3 years before I was ever contacted regarding the SSDI.
Mm-hmm.
It was denied, appealed, denied. Anyway, at this stage, we sent it up to the appeals council, and they have remanded it back down to the ALJ.
Mm-hmm.
And I have that hearing scheduled, just a telephone hearing, in May.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious whether you feel like, since it's been remanded from the appeals council back down to the ALJ, does that greatly improve my odds of an approval? My issues are COPD and spinal stenosis primarily. Yeah, I'm 69 years old now.
So, I mean, okay, what on your appeal document that basically says, hey, this is why I'm appealing, this is what's going on. Can you tell me from that document, like walk me through from that document, what are the reasons the appeal got remanded back to the ALJ? Because that's more important than, kind of like where you were before. What I got to know is what happened at the appeals council for them to allow the remand.
Well, and I have been using a disability attorney based in Dallas that's been handling this, but just one example is that some of the medical reports from my doctors here in Mexico, because I've been living down here for 8 years, were in Spanish, and they didn't bother to have it translated. So they essentially just, didn't take those doctor reports into consideration. Plus, they didn't they didn't apply the grid rule. They didn't apply the 5-year look back. So I haven't been employed for over 8 years. So just trying to get a feel if I ought to be optimistic of getting approval on this remand, or how does that generally work out?
So what I would have to do is I'd have to take a look and specifically see what it was that they didn't like. And what you want to get from your attorney is a copy of the appeals council remand. And there's going to be arguments inside that where they go paragraph by paragraph as to what they didn't like about what the ALJ did. And then from there, you take that and you basically go ahead and you use that as your main focal point to figure out what your future questions and answers are going to be. So like the way I do it is I go through, like I do a meeting with the claimant over the phone, and I go through all the different things that the appellate judges didn't like about the ALJ decision. And, we go through item by item and figure out, okay, so these are the types of questions that are going to come from this category of why they were unhappy. And then these are the types of questions that are going to come from this category of why they were unhappy. I can't tell you whether or not this improves your overall situation because I don't know what they have on your record as to why the appeal was allowed to go and get a remand backwards.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I had, and I've been following you for, gosh, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, and you do a great job, and I appreciate everything. I've learned a lot.
Good.
Watching your podcast. So thank you very much.
Absolutely good, sir. I'll catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful day, and rock and roll from there.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, good sir. Bye-bye. All right, we'll do one more. Hold on. We'll do one more. Boop. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? How can I help you?
Yes, sir. Doug, last name irrelevant, but I'm getting a settlement real soon. I'm on a disability bill since 2017, and I'm about to get a large settlement. Is that going to affect me?
Okay, so you've been on disability since 2017. You're about to get a lawyer to represent you. What seems to be the issue that you would need an attorney for?
No, I'm not getting a lawyer to represent me. You didn't hear me. Yeah. I'm getting a settlement. A large
settlement. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and you're currently on SSDI, not SSI, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, well, both actually. They started me, forced me on my retirement, yeah. So I'm getting a little one for retirement and then my disability too.
So wait, are you getting SSI plus retirement?
Yes.
All right. So
disability plus my retirement. Retirement doesn't amount to anything. I'm only getting like $200 a month for that. So
right. So the SSI is doing the rest of it and lifting it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the main thing is that yes, it will affect the SSI because you become ineligible at the $2,000 resource limit. The retirement isn't really going to be affected by that, but it's the SSI, and that's the bulk of your check because you're probably getting around like 990 something, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So if you're getting around 200 retirement, that means you're getting 100 and something.
The total only comes to 983. The retirement plus the disability. So
it comes out to one more time. What was the total amount?
983.
983. Yeah. So, I mean,
sir.
Kind of the bottom line here is you have to, so the first thing you want to go look at is what are allowable expenditures that you can make with the SSI, resources. You have to do a spend down. So first thing, go study SSI spend down. Go put that into Google, SSI spend down. And then there are certain resources you're allowed to put a bunch of money into and keep, and they don't hold it against you. So like, a better house, a better car, whatever. So you want to go look up a list of all of the resources that SSI does not count against. So like, you're allowed to have one dwelling, you could own the Taj Mahal and be on SSI, but you wouldn't obviously be able to upkeep it.
Right.
So that's that kind of thing. But the bottom line is this, at the end of the day, yes, it will kill off the benefits. So you need to spend down as quickly as possible into an allowable resource for the Title 16 SSI benefits.
Okay, so it's not like a gift, like someone gifted me a house or something like that. The settlement's not the same thing?
Well, remember, SSI, you can categorize it however you want, but it goes into the resource category and it's going to screw you over. Remember, SSI has an income limit and a resource limit because it's basically the program of last resort, which is their cute way of saying we are only giving you this money because you didn't pay enough to the other programs. So, there's all these limitations on it. So the bottom line is, go ahead.
Is that the same with disability?
No, it's different. There's no resource limit with disability or retirement.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm not too concerned about the retirement, buddy. I really aren't. Because, like I said, it only amounts like 200. I think it's 207 or something like that. So if they want to keep that, I'm good with that. It's just, with this daggum settlement, the thing is that I'm not. It's large, but they have to pay me in increments because it's a bankruptcy case. So I'm only getting so much. They put some in the trust, and then they pay out some. And they put some in the trust, and they pay out some. That's how it's working. So I'm not getting the entire thing at one time.
Well, I mean,
it'd still be good enough I can live off of pretty fairly easily. And I hate to. I'm legitimately on disability. I was starting to think I don't know, but I'm just confused and tired. I'm sick on this disability. I'm sick, that sick, so I have a hard time thinking. And there's that.
The retirement's not the one you got to worry about. It's the SSI, the bigger check that you got to worry about. That's the one where it's going to nip you. But I mean, how much are you talking about per month? Are you talking about a larger amount or a smaller amount coming in?
Quarterly, they're looking at quarterly every 3 or 4 months, somewhere around there. On average, 10 to 12, maybe 13,000.
12 to 13,000 quarterly. I mean,
yes.
I mean, that's better than SSI.
Yes, sir. I agree.
So, I mean, now, is there any way that you can do a settlement option to get it all at once and then put it into a house?
I own a house. I live in the house that I own.
What kind of car do you have?
Nothing. No car.
Can you drive a car?
I can. Yes, sir. I couldn't have been able to afford one. And so there's that. I mean, I've been on this disability now like 2017, and it's just it's before that I had really good work and things. I was a self-employed carpet installer, but I'm just concerned that this is going to take this can't affect my disability check, though. It can't, no way, shape, or form. Or
it'll affect the SSI.
To make them aware that it's coming, or
I mean, you can, but the bottom line is it's going to affect the SSI. It would be much better for you to have one single payout that you can put as a lump sum into something, even if you buy. I mean, honestly, best thing. I mean, how much money are we? Is this for the rest of your life?
No, it won't. I don't know for the rest of my life. I mean, the total comes out to, after the attorney gets their fee and everything, I'm going to look at maybe $350,000, so 330, something like that. I don't know if I'd be able to, how long that's going to last or whatever, but it doesn't really matter much because 18 months ago, I was in 6 months to live. So I'm living on borrowed time anyway.
I mean, if it were me and I only had 3 to 6 months to live, then, you know what I mean? I would try and get all the money out of it.
I understand.
But
I'd like to too. But like I said, it's a bankruptcy case where the claimant, or I'm the claimant, the one, the offender. They can only pay so much out of their bankruptcy into a trust, and they pay me out of that trust. It's just how it is. I mean, they can only pay out so much at a time. That's the reason I'm only getting so much at a time.
Usually you can do a settlement agreement, or you can push the court to do something because you're facing a death situation. Like if you had more time, I'd take the funds as a lump sum for less and then basically invest it into a rental property and then have somebody rent the rental property and make income off of that. But I mean, if you got 3 to 6 months, I mean, you're only,
there's no telling. See, I was given 6 months to live like 18 months ago.
So you're in the wait and see. I'm
not feeling bad, but I have good days and bad days. It's a matter of, it's just cancer. I mean, they, like I said, 18 months ago, they told me 6 months. They had me setting up people coming in and going to care for me. No. One day I decided I was going to live. See, prior to that day, I laid in my bed, waited to die.
Yeah.
And one day I decided, no, I'm not, I'm going to die on my feet. So I got up, took a shower, and started tending to myself. And that was like 18 months ago, 19 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm glad, brother, I appreciate you helped me tremendously.
Yeah.
God bless you, sir. I'm grateful to you.
Absolutely, good sir. I'll catch you a little bit later. All the best, and hopefully things will improve. There's all kinds of medications coming out all the time, but I don't know what kind of cancer it is and how deep it is, what the severity is. But have you checked in with the universities? Because I mean, they got a lot of test pills. Yeah.
I have appointments upon appointments upon appointments. I can't keep up with them. I have some in my spinal cord. I have them in my lymph nodes, and one in my lungs, and I have throat cancer too. It's real with me, man. It's just the way things. It's just the way life is, man.
So, the lymph node issue.
I'm good. I'm not. Like I said, that first. Right after I got the diagnosis, I laid in bed. I kept on laying in bed and didn't get out of bed 2 months. Because I was like, I thought, well, that's how I felt. I was given 6 months to live. I'm like, well, crap, man. And it was an emotional issue, an emotional fuck, if you will. Pardon my language, but
yeah,
and
makes sense.
So I laid there like 2 months, man, a little over 2 months, and I don't know. One day I said, no, I'm gonna die on my feet.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die on my feet. So I got out of bed, and that's the way it's been ever since. And I haven't, things haven't gotten any worse. I just, except for my throat, I get this daggum stuff in my throat. It sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate you, brother. I'm really grateful to you. But you keep your head up, sir. Look both ways. God bless you.
Thank you. You as well, good sir. Have a blessed day. Perfect. Wow. That's a tough situation. Alrighty, everybody. I will catch you all a little bit later, maybe later tonight. There is a developing thing that's happening in the Social Security realm. I don't know if there's going to be a really big update on it, but there is something going on. I will catch you all a little bit later. Please remember, if I helped you out with kind of a walkthrough as to how the program works, the bottom line is you can always go to Google and type in Disability Resolution Law Firm and throw some stars up there. Again, Disability Resolution Law Firm on Google. Also, I don't do Medicare stuff, but basically hundreds of people have been helped through specifically this phone number. The 339-226-6287. I've only heard really positive things, so you can always give them a call there at the 339-226-6287. With that said, if you need a private session, like one of those 30-minute or 1 hours, mini contract is in the bio below. You guys have a great and amazing, wonderful Saturday, and I will probably catch up with you tonight or tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much, Attorney Walter Hnot, and we'll go from there. All right, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.